wild and free. From the deck we'll see it all. Laughing loud, having a ball. RV ready, let's hit the road. Eagle flying, watch us go. Mountain peaks to valleys deep. Every turn a promise we keep. PK Adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Join the fun, come for the ride. Island hopping, here we come. Sunny skies and beating drums. Finding treasures new and old. Endless stories yet untold. Campfire glow under the stars. Whispers of the moonlit stars. In every corner secret calls. The world awaits in wonder it unfolds. PK Adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Join the fun, come for the ride.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. What day is it? What day?
The third Wednesday of the month, I think.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Yes. PKAT Chat live.
I need to learn the lyrics to our intro song.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, but it's not exactly. I can't hear some of the parts.
Oh, she can't hear some of the parts. Well,
so use your closed captioning.
Yeah, there you go. But yes, we are here to help you through the week. Push through that midday with some laughs and some fun.
It's spring break for some people.
I know, right? Spring break. So yeah, if it's spring break for you guys, put us in the chat and let us know. I can tell you that we can definitely tell it's spring break.
Everything costs more for no reason.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good thing.
And the traffic in the middle of the week.
Yeah. Because Mel and I are going to Fort Lauderdale this weekend to do a ship inspection on the Princess, the Sun Princess. And yeah, usually the hotel rooms we get for $150 to $200 are going for like $350 right now. So we really had to lower our standards, shall we say.
I went down to almost a 2.5-star hotel.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
So
I know.
Roughing it.
I got to bring my sanitizing wipes.
But the only reason why she agreed to do that is because we're literally driving there after work, sleeping for a couple hours, and then we're gone the next morning. So
maybe I'll just leave the lights off and then go in there and then just
not
lay down,
see what it looks like.
See what it looks like.
Yeah, it's probably better to check that room out in the dark. But bring a black light though, so you can.
Oh yeah, that's gonna make it much better.
If I bring a black light, she's not even gonna step into the room.
No, I might sleep in the truck.
Oh God, I had a hotel like that on Long Island once. That was real rough. That was a spring break trip where we got out of Florida because we didn't want to be here. We went all the way up to Boston, and actually went out. It was technically our first COVID trip as well to replace my canceled cruise. And we went up to each of the New England states from there. And then we stayed on the island near my uncle on the way back. And the days in, oh boy, it was something. It was something.
I could imagine.
All right. Welcome people in the chat now.
Yeah, so let's welcome in a few people.
Who do we got?
So who do we have?
Hats on a
Hello.
mission.
Jeremy. Hats on a mission.
Ryan's hogging the buttons over here. Hey. How you doing?
Yep. Next up in the chat is Yo. Brooklyn in the house.
Ooh, hey, I'm looking. There it is.
Yo. Brooklyn in the house.
That's right.
Yep. And next up is Scott.
The myth, the legend.
Some welcome in. We got some talking back and forth. Yep. Eddie's like, yep, spring break for sure.
Yep. Our condolences.
Yeah. But Eddie is on spring break 24/7, 365. I like that. I like that a lot, sir.
I got to sign up for that club.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, next in we got Tony cruising with the Landra.
Welcome in.
Yep.
Hello there.
Welcome in. That's all we got in the house so far.
What?
I know.
So Christine's here, but off screen.
Yeah.
She's not
There's
really.
a
She's
hand
only in the
somewhere
chat tonight. Christine's in the chat. She's
Oh.
still recovering from,
She's-
Yep.
the ankle, and and she does. This tonight's topic isn't. I'm not gonna say it's not her forte, but it's not. So.
Well, just be honest. She doesn't do a lot. She definitely helps and has driven and done a few things, but
Yep.
not to the frequency of what we have done.
Look pretty.
She's definitely
other stuff.
present and looks pretty the whole time.
Yep. But yeah, so tonight we are talking, really the most important, I think, parts of RVing, and that is, unhooking and getting set up in the site. And then once you're done, you got to tear everything back down and then rehook. And there's a lot of opportunities on both sides
To screw stuff up.
to really screw stuff up if you're not careful. So tonight we are basically going to be chatting about some of the stuff that we have seen, some tips and tricks, some of the almost things that have happened to us, or what has actually happened to us as we get started.
Yeah.
So
tonight's topic, I think the most important thing is just remember there's a process. Everything's
Definitely.
done in a process and usually the same way.
yeah. Now you might occasionally flip them out because I know CJ, you talked as well that we used to follow A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we didn't deviate from that. But sometimes weather or something like that might necessitate a slight switch up, but then you've got to be that much more focused
Oh yeah.
if you're going to switch up your normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Weathers are always a factor there. Time of day, if people like to arrive at dark for some reason, that can change how they're going to think. Oh, you're like you guys. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah.
There's a poll going on, so make sure you guys vote.
Yes, there is a poll out there as well
Yep.
about headaches or no, I just cruise. But
Yep.
all right, we also have Sail Whiskey Dream. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, appreciate you coming by.
Before we get started, we got Tony giving us some stuff. So he hooks up trailers at the port to all the pickups, the lug tugboat parts, oil drums, pallets, also making sure everything's strapped down as well. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not fun to jump out at a red light to reattach that, to attach a bungee cord to something that, you thought your wife did, but she said you were supposed to do.
Wow, that sounds like something specific, JJ.
Put that thing in reverse, back it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think you hit her hard enough.
Rephrase that your traveling companion.
There you go.
May or may not have done. How's that? Better?
Right.
She's going to blow me up. See, I can't see the chat from here, so I'm sure she's probably blowing me up in it right now because I know she's in there.
Actually, she hasn't posted anything in there yet.
She's trying to. She's having that same problem here right now.
Is she having the same problem with ours as...
Yeah. She is when she's in Tuber Chats thing. So,
yeah.
But anyway.
Posted a lot.
She's posted, she says she's posted quite a few comments in there.
You're a moderator then.
But,
Yep.
No, I don't know if you want to make her a moderator. That might give her too much power. Might go to her head. Well, I mean, you try to fix that, and we'll jump right into getting on site. I mean, obviously we've talked about planning routes and RV safe methods and things, and you have to make the assumption here that this is not an overnight boondock at a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart or a dark side of the road that looks safe enough for tonight anyway, type of place. So really, I've got a couple of acronyms that I've put together from watching others, from doing it myself. And the first thing is to obtain your goal. There's an acronym. Simply arrive, get out and look. That's your first goal. Get out and look.
Mm-hmm.
Because the picture may look great, but as we found out recently, sometimes the park decides to plant a giant tree in the middle of the site and not bother to tell you about it. Or there's some leftover debris, potholes, things that you don't see if you just pull in and try to get in right away, things that you need to learn to navigate. So always get out and look. Step one when you arrive at a site. And that can apply any site. Doesn't matter if it's a high-end place or like I said, an open field where you're going to boondock. That's the number one thing, or first thing, I should say, to think about.
Yeah, that's my
Assuming
problem.
it's light enough, unlike you.
I don't
guys.
get out and look enough,
Yeah.
especially when I'm driving.
And in conjunction with that, getting out and look also, you should really test your water, make sure it's flowing, and you should keep your power surge protector handy, which we all know is a requirement for RVing, so that you can test the shore power and make sure that it is there. Because if you don't have power, nobody wants to get in and do the next set of acronyms just to find out that we got to go somewhere else, or we're running off a battery tonight, or type of thing. That's no fun for anyone. So
what is your second set of acronyms?
My second acronym is class, to have class, because I'm a classy guy. You all know that from me being around here. I'm never rude, crude, or anything else. But class, that is CLAS. It's only one S, so you can't say I'm an ass. And that's clearance. Again, it's kind of, hopefully you've confirmed that when you got out and looked, but ensuring that you've got the clearance. That's overhead trees, like I said, the tree that sometimes is in the middle of the lot, the picnic table that may be out of the toward the back, but really could end up blocking where you want to go. And then assuming you pulled in successfully, the next part of class is leveling, and that is always a fun chore. Ryan and I have fought with our campers, our RVs, plenty of times trying to get level. Some sites you pull in and it's like a godsend. It's like they literally paved it perfectly yesterday just for you. Other times you're hoping that the RV isn't going to tilt over when somebody sneezes.
Right.
And it's the luck of the draw. Now, state parks here in Florida tend to be really well maintained. And obviously, if you're on a pavement, it's still much better, but doesn't mean it's perfectly level. It just means it's a flat surface. So it still requires
preference if it's leveled as far as gravel and paved. Do you have a preference? I haven't figured out which one I like better yet.
I actually prefer a paved surface, even if it's not level. Just because when I do my leveling, the paved surface, I find it's easier. You don't end up, especially if you have weather, you don't end up with any like sinking, like dirt, sand.
Yeah.
So, if you end up with weather the first night, you actually can end up not level by day two. So that's leveling is the second part of class. And then I actually totally forgot what A stood for from before because I just do it automatically. But awnings, that's it.
Awnings.
Awnings. It's great if you get in your site. And again, had we been at the buddy site with you and Helen, this would have been a problem because you're in, you're clear, you're level, and then if you haven't checked your measurements to know if you're putting your awning out or not, or if you're bumping into the next guy, or if there's some sort of branch. Remember, these things go out 8, 10, 12 feet, in some cases. So verifying that you've got enough room to use your awnings as well. And then the last S is slides. And that doesn't apply to everyone because obviously we don't have a slide in our current unit. You guys don't have in yours, but it would apply to you when you think about your hatchback, or in our case, our toy hauler hatch. So that while it might not be a slide, my toy hauler hatch needs 6 to 7 feet to come from its vertical position to horizontal for a porch, and just a smidge more of clearance if I'm going to actually use it as a ramp. Like to push someone in a wheelchair or something soon. Type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the acronyms that I have adopted and go with. Every site that we arrive, that's not a boondock. And be honest, if I boondock, I don't take my thing off the truck.
Yeah, we usually don't.
We didn't.
I may put my main block down under my tongue jack. If I'm riding high or low in that spot for a little bit of assistance, but I don't sit there and really level the unit and take it off the truck.
We normally leave it on the truck, but extend enough to take the pressure and weight off.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, we put our stabilizers down too, just based on the weather too.
I don't think I've actually ever done that. Most of our boondockies and Cracker Barrels, or actually we've done a Walmart as well, and I'm sure we've done some other spots at this point that aren't just right on the top of my head. But I don't tend to do my stabilizers. If there's enough breeze that it's going to flip the camper with it attached to the truck, but still stabilizers aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
True. I guess we just did it because we did have that nasty weather on the way up, and
You guys did.
one of those. I'm sure it did nothing, but just that peace of mind. Oh, we put the stabilizers down. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like locking your car door so that your car doesn't get broken into.
Yeah.
Of course, you come back to a broken window and it costs more than the 30 cents in change they took out of the ashtray. I know. I get it.
All right. Well, let's get caught up in the chat, and
Yeah,
then
let's
I'm
see
going
what's
to
going on.
throw some 2 cents in as far as setting up. So I think KK's already went out, but KK's came in. They couldn't stay too long. They were out and about eating dinner.
Oh, that's okay.
Foolish mortals.
We appreciate you popping in regardless.
Yeah.
We do.
Pop it
And
in,
then
pop it off.
Denise is in.
Hey. How you doing?
And then we got a few people chatting. Let's see here.
Did Christine ever show up? I don't see her still.
Yeah, well, I finally did it, but I had to do the same thing. So there must be something going on with Christine's channel that, for whatever
We'll have to check her
reason,
settings.
we're gonna have to check her personal settings to
Yeah.
see if there's something set up on her channel, because it happened in Tuber Chat, and Kevin had to add her, and then it happened obviously tonight. So something with her channel is just not being able to see on live streams.
Yeah, interesting.
So, and yeah, thank you, KK.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. She ended up having, or they ended up having to head out. So,
That's cool. Hey, it happens.
yep. So thank you. And then yes,
Wait, there she is.
there was officially.
Oh, look, she exists.
So she is here. So for those of you who have not joined Just a Girl on Her Porch, that is Christine's channel, where she talks a little bit about the planning side of things.
We'll
And
plan it, and then a porch or whatever else she needs to talk about that day. So
yeah.
Yep.
So
Right now, we're following her orthopedic journey a lot,
yeah.
but you know.
And then what she said was, for her,
Oh, look at that.
the difficult part is looking pretty and giving backup directions with the correct direction.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
You know
true.
what's funny?
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry, I'm going to go on a
Go for it.
complete
No, go for it.
squirrel
Where you
moment
going?
here. So you know how we were joking in the live last week about giving, frustrations and
He
giving
knew what-
direction and all of that.
For the record, he knew what I was saying.
So-
He just
Uh-huh.
didn't.
So we get there Tuesday, I guess that would be yesterday,
Yep.
to put the trailer
Back in storage.
back where we were.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to back up. She's like, okay. And then she's like, all right, cut it. And I'm like,
There was only one obvious choice, though.
and I stuck my head out and I'm like, did you really just say cut it instead of passenger or driver? Which way do I need to cut it?
Maybe she meant she had to cut the cheese. I don't know.
So Christine said you guys have also, I guess, maybe
Oh.
stayed at Flying J once or
We
twice.
have. Yep, we've done Flying J as well. Yep, she's right.
Yeah.
So,
And then we
so
got a
you
lot
didn't
of
hit my
people
camper
right
when you put
now.
your camper away, right,
Oh,
guys?
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and then we do have Duffam Adventures. Thanks for
Hello.
coming in.
Foolish mortals.
Oh, I remember their sticker. We got their sticker.
It's Melinda.
What did I do this time? I didn't
It's
do
all
anything.
your fault.
It's all your fault. No, they were just saying they couldn't recall.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, he would have called you out personally in the chat.
Oh, you don't have to call me out sometimes.
So,
She likes a certain amount of anonymity.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's why I'm just the driver.
right. But one of the other things that we always need to check as well, it's going to depend on what you use. But when we were talking about leveling, we have that half moon. Both of us have that half moon
Half moon style.
leveling
Yep.
block. So that's one which I think is the easiest way to level, where you can go from a 1/4 inch all the way up to 4 inches, and you just drive instead of having to put all the blocks up.
Yeah,
But
instead of building a pyramid with the link
Yeah.
style levelers, I found that the beach lane style or whatever brand you like, the angled ones are more user friendly overall.
Yeah. And then Mel and I, the first time we did that, being newbies, it slipped our mind that, okay, when you're on that kind of leveler, you are naturally going to roll off when you take your foot off the brake.
Yes, you are.
So we got it all nice and leveled with the little bubble thing before we got the cool thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, you're good. So I took my foot off the brake before we thought to chalk the back. Had to start all over again because it rolled back down. And so you got to remember to go in there and make sure once you are leveled from left to right, put your chalk in to keep yourself from rolling back.
Well, I also put in there when you are, say you're in a very unlevel space, such as Jetty Park. And we actually were getting the trailer off the truck. It dropped so bad because it was so uneven. You gotta make sure you got your chocks, and thank God we did.
Yeah,
because it dropped. Our truck dropped.
The truck not only dropped, but there was so much pressure that even my jack kind of like bent a little bit, where it was off angle because of the force of it knocking around.
Yeah.
So if that thing wasn't chalked, holy moly, that would have been a nightmare.
It would have been in the the canal.
Probably would have been in the canal.
Well, like I said, the acronym and stuff is great, but there are individual steps that come along with each of those general categories, and absolutely chalking before even removing your safety chains. It is literally, if you want, level, and then instant, it's chocks, wheel chocks, and again, at this point, I do not take my safety chains off until I am at a stage where I have leveled, checked all the other things, and I'm now pulling the pin on my hitch, as I say, to disconnect. That's when I do. And actually, my style, since I don't have to drive out from it because it's a tongue and groove, it actually I back up into a groove and then lower my hitch so it tongues like this or holds on a tongue. I actually don't take the safety chains off until that security pin is out. I've separated those at this point because I've just seen too many things go wrong still at that stage.
Right. Yeah. Lupin chat disconnected. Well, we're back now. Something was happening with Eddie, I guess.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
Yep. He's always causing trouble, that guy.
Yeah, because and what I do is I have the same process. Yeah, when we back up, once we get there and we are happy with where we are, like we were just talking about, we level left to right, put the chalk in the back.
Yep. Room for hitch, room for hatches, room for awnings, stairs. Everything's got its spot.
Yep. And then I go in there and I go ahead and disconnect before to get the truck out of the way. So then I'll put
Christine
it down,
has a
unhitch
question?
everything.
Oh, I was just waving to everybody.
No, I think that's a hand wave emoji as opposed to a raised hand question.
Well, I also want to bring up for people who don't RV, most of your hookups are on one side. So when you pull into a site, you typically are going to be on one side versus the other. So you could be closer to the hookups. And you have your livable space on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And it's a general rule, but I've definitely seen sites that are the other way around.
Yes, I have too.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the one that we were on. Oh, Jetty Park. Jetty Park defies all logic.
It sure does.
Because everything, like normally you have your power pole and your water
right
like
there
on the same, 4x4 post or whatever. Right. And then if you have sewer, it's probably not more than a few feet away from that.
Yeah.
Jetty Park, the sewer for one of the sites we were on, the sewer was right after you drove up the road, but to connect to the water and power, you had to be near the back. So you had to have a 20-foot, no, not even a 20-foot. Would have needed a 25-foot hose to hook my sewer from the trailer all the way down and actually get to the sewer that was on there.
Yeah, so we didn't even.
And that's a pretty uncommon length. They come in groups of 10, so it's pretty uncommon to carry 30 feet worth with you.
So that was crazy, and they had water and power on opposite sides of the site. So that's the one that doesn't follow any kind of normal setup. But most of the other places we go, there's one
Yeah.
4x4 post that's got power on one side and the water hookup on the
9
other.
times out of 10, it's on the correct side.
So
Now,
So
motor
assuming,
coaches are different.
we've removed our 7-pin, got our trucks off because we're all chocked and safe because we've leveled, and now we've leveled front to back because again that first leveling is only your driver passenger, not your pitch.
yeah.
I actually tend, since I know my utilities are good, I tend to get my power connected at
Yes.
that point. Personally, especially if we've been traveling more than just an hour or two from the house, yeah, we have solar to trickle to help, but if we're driving 4 or 5 hours, I want to get that refrigerator on its shore power, and I want to get some water in the system so you can get your toilet, your head treatment system in and things like that. So
Or get your
that's
AC.
or
say in the summer for us, we got to
Summer
get that AC on.
yep, exactly. And that's also the time that I should be remembering to turn off the power on my leveling app system for the internal housing. But 9 times out of 10, I forget. I now have to keep a stock of these 30, 20, these little tiny batteries in the camper because the amount of times I can't remember to turn that thing off. And it's on my checklist. I just somehow forget it every time.
Right. Welcome in, Ross.
Hey.
Sup,
Hello
beaches?
What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, and that's normally the next thing. And then, depending on where we are, after the power, I do the water.
Yep, power and water. Yeah, I consider utilities one and the same at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Power, water, and then.
Well, in this case, there's also one-off scenarios, and I just want to talk about this because this is the first time we had to deal with it in Georgia when we were at the Unicoi State Park. We actually had to sign paperwork that said that we recognize and heed their warning that if we leave our water hooked up, that Unicoi is not responsible for any damage that might happen due to freezing water, because the first 2 nights it dropped below freezing where we were in the park. And so what I ended up doing in that case is not hooking up the water, still hooking it up initially with my filter, my first stage filter, the second filter, and then I filled up my freshwater tank complete, disconnected everything, drained all the water out of my hose, and then packed it away and got that back in the trailer. And we operated off of just the freshwater system, and I filled it up as needed during the weekend, and we kept our tank heaters on to keep the black, the gray, and the fresh from freezing.
Yep. Now, there's actually a formula, and we got caught some really cold stuff up in the Panhandle. I don't remember what month it was. I think it might have been January. No, January-ish, maybe. I don't remember at this point. And that was the Falling Water State Park, and so it was January. We were there. The formula that we were discussing with the Rangers is whatever the temperature is going to drop to. It requires that many number of hours generally at that temperature as a general for it to freeze. So if you're going to drop, let's say you drop to 18, you've got to be at 18 degrees for like close to 18 hours for a water system to totally freeze up, solid. That's the calculations they use on that stuff. Now, I haven't tested this, I haven't Googled it, I haven't asked Siri or anyone else, but this is the formula that they gave us. So think about it. I mean, if you're at 32, that means 32 hours. And I feel like this is a running water thing as opposed to maybe a still water thing.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
How long does it take when you put water in and you start making ice? How long does it take?
My ice maker only takes 18 minutes because I have
not an ice maker.
Yeah.
So
No, that's true. That's true.
So that there is it, but there is definitely a mathematic formula you can figure out to
There
determine
probably
if it's
is.
really going to be an issue.
But I'm not taking my chances.
No,
Because
and I'm not
it's
recommending
gonna
either. I'm just saying I know there is a formal one, but it can also be defeated if you throw some towels over the hose.
Yeah.
That if you're not talking about a sustained deep freeze below 32 for more than a couple hours overnight, a hose, a blanket, towels over your hose, it actually should suffice as well. It's the same concept here in Florida as keeping our plants from freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that works obviously very well because that's what every farmer in the world here does.
Yep. Yep. All right. And then Ross said, so you got a group cruise in November. Make it a back-to-back with the rock and roll, technically side-by-side. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. So,
Can you tell us more about that?
Good. Let's talk a little bit about that, right?
Attention all adventurers and travel lovers. Are you ready to embark on the ultimate getaway? Join PK Adventure Travels for an unforgettable group cruise aboard the brand new MSC World America, a ship that redefines luxury and adventure on the high seas. This is a 7-night Caribbean cruise departing from vibrant Miami, Florida on November 22nd, 2025. Imagine spending Thanksgiving week surrounded by turquoise waters, warm sunshine, and breathtaking destinations. Here's what's in store. Explore the tropical paradise of Roatan, Honduras. Discover the stunning beauty of Costa Maya, Mexico. Dive into the vibrant culture and crystal clear waters of Cozumel, Mexico. And enjoy pure relaxation on MSC's private island, Ocean Cay, where white sand beaches and exclusive experiences await. You don't want to miss this opportunity to cruise, connect, and create memories with like-minded travelers. Whether you're looking for adventure, relaxation, or both, this cruise has it all. Spaces are limited, and this is your chance to sail with PK Adventure Travels and experience the Caribbean like never before. Call now or visit us online to reserve your spot. The countdown to your dream vacation starts now.
All right.
Whoop, whoop.
Space is limited. Order
Space
now.
is limited.
That's
Order
right.
now.
That's right.
You'll be able to travel with P of the PK
P of
picture.
the PKs. Welcome in, Kevin. Word up. Word up,
Hey,
sir.
Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for stopping
Thank you.
by.
And then I must say, woo!
Whoa!
Give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
Now, show me the money. Make it rain.
Do
now.
you want me to show you what you won, or
Yeah.
do you want me to just send it to you so you can be surprised?
Well, we're going to do a giveaway.
Not what I thought she
We're
was
going
going
to
to
do
say.
a giveaway. But yeah. But before we do that, you guys need to see this.
Whoa! Thanks for the super chat, dude. You're like totally gnarly, and that was radical. Like, seriously, dude.
Oh, thanks a megaton for the super chat. That was totally clutch on your so bodacious. What? You're a true legend.
Wow. She don't know bodacious, dudes.
Bodacious.
In my defense, it's hard reading those glasses, okay?
We do have Cheryl in here from Cruising Fun is anytime.
Cheryl.
So yes, get your chats in. We're going to do like we did last time. And just anybody who's active in the chat will be entered into the giveaway, and then we will have Nightbot choose. So if you are still in the chat and you haven't posted anything in the last like 10 minutes, go ahead and get that post in. And we're going to do a drawing. No, you're not going to count. That would be just a girl on her porch. So yeah, so you're going to get a koozie. You're going to get a lanyard.
Oh, and this
What
is
is that?
passport holder.
Passport holder. Nice and pretty.
It's got the RFID. If I hope that's the right thing.
Yep, the
And then I forgot
RFID.
what these are.
This is a air tag holder that has a peel and stick, so you could put it in your luggage or something like that.
I thought those were nipple tassels.
Sticker.
The most
Oh,
important thing, the PKAT sticker. Oh, tell Christine I do have some stickers she can include in
okay.
bills. A little Nomi Nomi, because a Nomi Nomi follows us around.
Actually,
And I don't
I had
think-
stickers. I put them in. Bill's stuff shipped
Oh,
already. He is.
Oh,
Bill's
okay.
stuff should arrive on the 21st for him.
Okay.
By Friday.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to get ours in the next day or so.
I mean, I don't think you can find these anymore. So this is
Whoa.
100% solid gold plastic ship on a stick.
Carnival Paradise.
Wow.
All right, so if everyone who's still here, if you put your name in, let us draw. Oh, there we go. Yep, Jeremy made it in last minute.
Oh, okay. I kind of want to get in the chat myself all of a sudden.
Oh, and this nice little celebrity bag.
And of course, the celebrity bag itself, yes. All right, so let me go ahead. We'll share the screen.
Or not.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to say choose a winner, and let's see. It's not as cool as the spinning wheel. I need to figure that one out.
We got to get a spinning wheel.
Yeah. Yep, and then we got Rawson. Yep, we're in there now.
Maybe we can
All
get
right.
Vanna White.
Uncheck me.
So give me a drum roll.
Uncheck me.
Uncheck her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should probably uncheck that girl on her porch.
Well, you know
Well, at
what?
least shipping
I'll
would be
excuse
cheap.
you if we do.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, drum. Oh, I do that drum.
And it's
There we go.
OCV! Woo, woo, woo! So, Ross, make sure you reach out to us.
Is it fixed?
Chat@gmail.com with your address, and we will get that prize pack on its way to you.
PKAT Chat.
PKAT Chat at gmail.com.
Woohoo!
So
Maybe we should change it to like that commercial where pkatchat.com is the best.com.
there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Awesome. Well, congrats.
Congrats.
Again, Ross, reach out to us. Yep, just send us a message, and we will get that thrown in the mail for you.
Or you.
All right, so we've talked about getting set up, backing
Yep.
in, unhooking.
Mhm.
I guess the most logical thing to do now is talk about the last thing you do. Break down, getting ready to move, and then hitching it back up.
CJ's an expert with what's the word we always call it?
It's not pre-packing, it's just pre-organizing.
I pre-plan my departures. It's
There you
good.
go,
Being
pre-plan.
organized. I pre-plan.
TA's in
I do the
advance.
same thing on a cruise. I'm sorry. There's no good reason to leave the wash I'm not going to use or send out to laundry just lying around when it could be packed back in a suitcase nice so that I can enjoy the maximum time right up to the last minute. And camping's no different. Absolutely.
Yep.
We put away our chairs, our tables, our accoutrements, make sure dishes are done. Those things are locked and stored and stowed before we go to bed. Because let's face it, while we don't have to leave till 11, 12, 1 in a lot of our places, we're weekend warriors. We've got to be out there Sunday morning, travel a couple of hours and get back and still have some time to do what needs to be done because, work's on Monday. We're not full-time RVers, or full-time cruisers. So it requires, I know it stinks. I know Melinda would like to be a full-time something, but,
Yeah. And when you think about it, before we started talking about everything, but to your point, we do leave pretty early because we still have whatever the drive time is, plus several hours once we get home to unpack, do laundry,
exactly.
Do the sheets if we need to do the sheets. We all like to usually remake the beds and get everything that
exactly
lives in the we're done and take it back to park it back at the.
It's so funny, and you guys will appreciate this more than anybody watching. But it's almost like when we used to visit a certain in-laws house in a certain state where we had a punch list of things to do before departing to ensure it looked as nice as when you arrived. And
to the point of taking a picture before we messed something up to make sure everything was put back in the exact place.
Exactly. But while we joked pretty hard about that in our time, we pretty much do exactly that with these campers. At least Christine and I do.
Yeah.
Now, when she doesn't have a tri-mal break of her ankle and I don't have to do it all, she handles a lot of the, making sure the food is packed and that stuff. I haul it in the house, but all that, the laundry, the bedding, she handles doing all of that kind of inside stuff. And then the cleaning. There's sweeping, there's vacuuming, there's dusting, all sorts of chores to do when it's, when you're sitting in the driveway before you send it back to storage, for the week or two and use it again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and kind of the same thing on our side. I do a lot of the outside cleanup work as we're getting ready to leave, while she's inside getting things stowed, doing some cleaning prep in there while I'm working on the outside, and then we both kind of work the last little bit before it goes back once we get home. But
exactly. So, but that's home. Unhitching really is just hitching in reverse. Unless you're dealing with, again, do it in the dark or some sort of adverse weather or other change that's come along, like, your hitch got screwed up like we did when we were near Alabama that time, and I had to go to Camping World and get it fixed, on the fly.
Did
Really,
you get your fixed yet?
yeah, we're resolved there. Of course, now I need a battery though, because it's been sitting since somebody busted her ankle for 3 weeks, and the trickle charge only does so much. So I may need a battery soon. But anyway, but on
I know
Hitching,
we get a great price for a battery.
on the front of
Yeah.
your camper.
We went. Where did we go? We went to Advanced Auto
No,
Parts. right?
O'Reilly's.
Oh no, we went to O'Reilly's.
Oh,
And then for the deep cycle, an exact duplicate of what we had, a deep cycle one, it's only $133, and that included all the extra fees and disposal things for
Gotcha.
getting rid of the other battery as well.
I only picked that because the parking lot looked easy to get in and out.
Mhm.
That was the only reason I picked that place.
Yeah.
No,
One
that's cool,
callback,
That makes
and I
sense.
think it was just because I was talking to the manager and he had somebody from district breathing down his neck about, you got to do this before, he leaves at 9:15. He leaves at 9:15.
Wow.
And so basically he sold me the battery. He's like, you got tools? I was like, no. He's like, here. And he pushes me the cart, and I had to go do all the stuff
Wow.
myself.
But we made a nice video of it, so you
Yeah.
get to
That's
see
good.
that.
That's good. I'll watch that for when I have to change mine. So,
Okay.
but again, back on topic. On breaking down, it's pretty simple. Cheryl packs to go home on cruise 1.5 days before disembarking. Yay, Cheryl!
Yes.
That's
There you go.
awesome. That's perfect. I think Christine had some comments on that too, somewhere in the chat. It looked like.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, 24 hours. So Cheryl still beats you guys by about a half a day.
Yeah. So maybe I'll start traveling with Cheryl instead.
See, for Mel, she feels like packing is the ultimate. It's over, and she doesn't want to admit it's over until the very last possible
I will
second.
pack the morning of sometimes.
Look, I've never been on a ship so long that they had to call my name, Linda.
I only done that a couple times.
I think at least once, maybe twice for us. And we were with Mom and Dad too. We were just hanging out on Lido deck.
I was waiting on my
that.
coffee.
So,
Gotcha. So,
all right. So So let's talk.
It's pretty simple.
Before, the hardest part for me, up until honestly, I got this backup camera, that we just installed.
Yep.
Was gauging the depth.
By the way, it's working again.
Oh,
Our
good.
center console's working. Whenever it gets over 89 degrees, whatever the connection is that's causing it to flicker, it must swell enough to fully do the connection when it's 89 degrees or hotter.
Sorry, squirrel mom.
Awesome.
So roll.
Unrelated.
But anyway, the hardest part for me was actually backing up the truck and getting lined up with our hitch, because we don't have the one like you have. We have the old school ball where you're trying to get right underneath a bit, because I also have to account for the slight forward movement as it comes down.
Yep.
That was the hardest part. One time I think it took us like 20 minutes. We were
so out of practice.
We were out of practice.
That was the first time we had done it.
I've had some frustrations there as well. I totally understand and agree. And it's sometimes part of my pre-planning the night before, or if we know we come in and we're not going anywhere, we're leaving the next morning, it's still light, I will line up, that night, the day before, while I still have daylight, before we're doing it first thing in the morning, or right after I wake, 20 minutes after I woke up and gobbled down a frozen egg sandwich or something like that type of thing. So
right.
That is part of planning accordingly too. But my method's pretty straightforward though. Like I said, assuming I have no problem lining up and bringing it on. First thing I do as soon as I've made contact and I'm out to lower the camper, is put those safety chains on immediately. It's the first thing I've come to do. I've started doing, and at that point, if it's summer and it's hot as balls, I'm leaving that electric on right to the last second. Otherwise, soon as I've got my safety chains on, then boom, it's time to break down utilities, pull stuff out of the or Christine be taking stuff out of the camper, to go back into the truck, and making the necessary connections, and then really the last thing is pulling those wheel chocks.
Yeah, that's
the
definitely
very, very last thing.
Our
before
orders
we
are a
roll
little
away.
different, and it depends on your type of stairs too.
Yeah, because with ours, what I have to do is I have to take my stabilizers down first, is what I do on mine, because when I back up, I can't lower the jack to get connected to the trailer with the stabilizer still on there.
Gotcha.
Then I put too much pressure, or it doesn't go down depending on how level or unlevel we work.
Yeah, and my like I said, my style,
Yeah.
I just have to butt up while it's
Yeah.
still up, no problem, and I can butt up and do that, and then again lose my utilities,
lower.
my
Yeah.
stabilizers, and you know, and all of that. So so there's going to be some variance depending on your camper style and hitch style. That's definitely true. That's an excellent point.
We know we make sure we don't lower when we have our stairs down, because you got to have your stairs up.
Well, yeah. See, I've assumed we've basically vacated the camper at this point if you're at the hitching up stage.
Yeah.
Right. So so we do that because that's one of the other things. I guess we didn't really touch base on that when we were in the setup, but we can talk about it in the closure too, since we're talking about the stabilizers. And that is, the stabilizers are exactly how it sounds. They stabilize. You don't use it to level, because they're not designed for that kind of stress. If you're having to try to level by 1.5 inches or 2 inches on one side
by cranking a scissor jack,
that's,
or even with an with the drill, with a power drill and a 19 millimeter standard socket like we do. Yeah, it's not what they're meant for. That's
no. Right. If anything, 1/4 inch you could play with, but it's not designed for that. So we digress. So
it's a good point. It's an excellent point you brought up.
But because I've seen it before, where you're buckling, or you break the crank, or you break the long screw, and now that stabilizer is
shot. Yeah. Hey, look, I look. Second time out with our brand new replacement. I broke one of my a particular piece on my stabilizer, because my electronic leveler battery crapped out. I didn't have it. I was stuck doing it by myself due to the situation where I was, and I was frustrated. And an hour plus 2 into trying to level manually and get it right, because the site was kind of really paved but very wonky, although paved. And I broke a piece of my stabilizer literally on its second outing. So it's definitely not meant. It's meant to keep from feeling like you're on a cruise ship while you're inside walking around. It is not meant to change the pitch or the level.
Right.
Definitely.
So I guess your rig is going to depend on your processes, basically.
But they're all very similar. It's just the order might be a little bit different depending on your particular rig.
That's what I said. The acronyms are great, but they're a generalized statement. And they work backward. They work backwards with them as well. But the only things that hold tried and true is once you level, no matter what rig you got, once you've done your initial left to right leveling or driver passenger leveling, your wheels need to get chocked before it comes off the truck or any safety thing disconnects. That's rule 1. And rule 2, the second you've backed up to the hitch, so whether it stabilizes up, down, depending on how your rig works, the first thing that happens is those safety chains and connections go back on.
Yep.
Nobody wants a runaway trailer, in either direction, whether that's away from you and heaven forbid down into a river like Griffith State Park where you guys were, or into your that hitch into your tailgate, and now you got an ugly truck.
Yep. Definitely Unicoi State Park. When you guys finally see that episode, it'll be like 6 months from now because of all the backlog we have. But we were on the top of a hill, and there was a good 20 feet drop behind us, very steep drop. So,
it was a drop.
Even
Peachy learned what the drop was.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, if I go too far, I'm going to hang myself." So
not good.
We had to make sure we kept an eye on her when she was on that side.
Short leash for that one.
Yep. But it's just the other good thing is when you're first starting out, have that checklist. I know we've kind of touched on that, but just to officially say
we had to print it at one point, and just it came, second nature.
It becomes behavioral to some aspect, yes.
But
except when you veer from it, when you veer from that behavior,
yes.
And then you've got to, go back and, again, remember something, because like I said, you're rushing in the rain, or like me, I have literally come this close in a summer where it's like 102 degrees at 8 a.m., in the shade, uphill both ways with newspaper on my feet. Sorry, and getting ready to pull away. I'm like, oh, that's right, the power's still connected because we had I'm keeping all the food in the refrigerator and stuff as up and running as cold as possible before the 3, 4, 5, 6 hour drive home and such. Does it operate on battery? Sure, but the longer it's on battery, just the longer it's on battery, the more potential problems for things.
Yeah, well, I think the final thing that we always do as well, and I'm sure you do it as well, at the end of the day when you're already hooked up and you think you are ready to go, is to do that 360 walk and check your main.
Get out and look.
I look at the chain. I looked at my hitch is locked. I looked at the hitch lock is in there. Looked at the propane is off. I double checked that the exterior hatches are locked. I double checked the doors are locked. I'm looking at the stabilizers. Did I leave anything? I actually left the freaking hammer sitting on top of the back bumper once when my cogs were still really tight to keep the caps on for my Slinky. I had to beat it down and I left it there because I got distracted. If I didn't do that walk, that hammer would have gone flying, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's why I said you can do the acronyms in reverse. You before you're done, you get out and look around. And, really technically, you should also have your safety check, which is a standard thing. That's checking your brakes, your brake lights, your signals, your reverse lights if you're equipped, and your running lights and such. My truck actually, we found literally like 3 weeks, on this last trip. My truck has a setting I can press a button and it cycles through all that for us.
Ours doesn't cycle through, but I have to manually cycle through, but it gives me a hookup checklist. Check this, check that, check this, check your brakes, check your lights. So, but I have to click OK for each one once I check it.
See, I hit the button and it literally turns one blinker on, turns the next blinker on, hits the brakes, it turns on the reverse lights.
That's cool.
Flashes all the marker lights on it and stuff. So you could be a one-man job and do it. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
All right. So we're ready to wrap this up?
We should probably close out this poll. What do we got?
Yeah, let's close out the poll and see where we are. And we are pretty much near the end here. So if you have not voted yet, go ahead and vote. And we will close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go sports team!
Space Crew 10 is on liftoff. Headed to the ISS.
All right, so what do we got? We have 44% of you said, I don't RV, I cruise.
See, that's still less than half, though. That's good.
Yeah.
That means people have varied interests, and that's important.
Yeah. 22% say the unhooking and the leveling is the most difficult thing they have to work with, which initially, before I got that electronic leveler and the Anderson or the Half Moon Beach Lane thing, that would have been my top choice. Getting there with a leveler, trying to, all right, go forward. Okay, stop. Oh, no, come back. So, yes. 22% said connecting the water power and sewer was the most difficult and challenging part of setting up. And then 11% was hooking back up to the truck after everything.
I think that's mine, hooking up back to the truck.
Yeah, that one, it takes the top for us still. But, and I'll let Mel try it next time, that backup cam that I have that's right at the license plate level literally is dead-eyed on the ball, and I can back that sucker almost perfectly. It's just that depth perception by a hair that's still a little bit of a problem. So,
all right.
Eddie.
What's that?
Oh.
He said there's too much stuff to do now. I'm good with camp.
And he's like, you know what? I'll just come hang out at your campsite like I did in Helen. You guys did all the stuff. I'll just come and enjoy hanging around.
Cool. We charge a resort fee for that, though.
Oh yeah, $18 a night.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that brings it to an end. So hopefully some of the stuff we talked about was illuminating.
Yes, it's always nice to get feedback on, RVing and how people do certain things. And if anybody actually RVs and has a recommendation that we missed, feel free to
let us know.
Yeah,
Drop
definitely.
it in the
We're still
comments.
learning.
Let us know. And if you've got if you got experience, we'd be happy to have you on and have you be here on the panel and talk about some of your experiences as well.
Yeah, because we're trying to get some more RV content. So anybody wants to, join and enlighten us.
Yeah,
They got some recommendations to go.
definitely.
May will be our next RV month. So we've got one more. We got
Yeah.
one more live this month because this is like a weird month, or
Yeah.
it's long but short still, type of weird month. And
Yep.
and then
And then
April.
we're back to cruising again.
Yep, April. We talk about cruising. Yep.
Yeah.
Get back on
Yeah.
that stuff.
So, all right, and congrats again, Ross. We'll get
Yeah.
that prize pack packed up and out to you.
As soon
Yep,
as I
it's
get
good. It's
the-
coming 18th class Pony Express. It should be there sometime around the apocalypse. No problem.
As soon as I make it to the post office, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
She's going to strap it to a homing pigeon.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you again. As always, we'll see you the next time on
The Scenic Route.
The Scenic Route. Later, everyone. Night.
Good night.
Night.